One of my favorite DreamWorks animated films of recent years is The Croods. An examination of the fear that might greet anything new, Chris Sanders and Kirk D'Amico created a beautifully animated, darkly comic, and rather sweet animated film about a family of cavemen facing the odds in an uncertain and unpredictable world filled with amazing creatures. Around the time of The Croods' release, DreamWorks Animation signed a deal to produce original series for Netflix, and out of this partnership came Dawn of the Croods, a prequel series that looks into their life before they went on the incredible journey. The result was a funny and clever series that tied in nicely with the movie. The characters are kept pretty much intact, while also giving some insight into their behavior when the events of the film roll around. Showrunner and executive producer Brendan Hay, along with his team of writers, took a sitcom-like approach to the material and this modern Stone Age family. The episodes have fun showing how our modern ideas were initially created by the Croods and their neighbors, yet still working within the limitations of that world and their lack of current technology. A frequent theme in the film was nature's constant attempts to eat anything in their path and the need for survival, and Dawn of the Croods continues that with the various cavemen trying to thwart the animals. The hybrid animals and the habits are nicely expanded upon, creating some funny material. The new characters also work in expanding the world of Valley. The funniest one is Lurk, whose obsession with Eep creates some hilarious dynamics. The series also humorously plays with the concept of keeping up with the Joneses through Grug's rivalry with a snobby next-door neighbor Snoot. None of the actors from the film appear in Dawn of the Croods, but the new voice actors playing the Croods make for more than worthy replacements. Dan Milano's voice work as Grug kind of proves my long-standing point that Nicolas Cage impressions are funnier than Nicolas Cage himself. The word no is not funny by itself, but somebody doing a Nicolas Cage impression and repeatedly saying no is hilarious. And we may not have Catherine Keener as Ugga, but I'm not going to complain when Cree Summer has a major role in an animated series. Stephanie Lemelin also captures the distinct sound of Emma Stone's voice while portraying a slightly younger Eep than we saw in the movie. A general episode of Dawn of the Croods will involve the Croods and the other cavemen following or creating a new tradition, an idea similar to one of our own, whether it's creating the first game of golf or taking part in the first nap, which tend to lead to humorous consequences. The series originally employed a flash animation style, which looked a tad off to me, and I wonder if it put off initial viewers from giving more of the show a look. However, the producers decided to switch to traditional animation, resulting in more fluid character animation, thus allowing for funnier physical comedy and a nicer color palette. The Netflix and animation format also allows the writers to pull episodes into different and unexpected directions, and going places they might be asked to shy away from on traditional television. The concept of the holiday special is played around with, using the familiar ideas of Christmas and twisting them on their head. In one episode, Eep finds herself communicating with a mysterious being in the sky, which leads to the other cave people either blindly worshipping her attempts to appease him or questioning the existence of this being. That was a direction I did not expect the show to go into. And one of my favorite episodes is a musical, but with Sandy the baby belting out the tunes. Kudos to Grey Griffin for her superb voice work in that episode. Watching Dawn of the Croods, there's an uneasy feeling when remembering how the movie opens with the Croods alone in an empty valley. However, the show managed to tie this up in a way that wasn't gruesome and depressing, leading to Dawn of the Croods serving as a great companion piece. If anything, the show provides further characterization and exploration for why Eep and Grug act the way they do when we're first introduced to them in The Croods. In the series, the Croods are frequently out in the field, catching multiple prey, and hanging about with their friends and neighbors. So one can imagine Eep having difficulty adjusting to this new life, hidden away all day in the cave with just her family's companionship and her father's new rules. It also gives insight into why Grug is so afraid at the start of the film, as he himself similarly had trouble dealing with the circumstances that led them to this barren wasteland. Jumping from the series to the movie, it's sad when we see the Croods having so little to eat and with no other friends to talk to. It shows even further how much they needed to move forward and go on this amazing journey. When it was announced some months back that DreamWorks Animation had cancelled the Croods sequel, I initially did not mind, as I liked the Croods just fine as a one-off adventure. However, watching the series, I realized how much I like these characters, and now I'm disappointed we probably won't see them again. It makes the final scene in Dawn of the Croods that much more bittersweet. Apparently, Dawn of the Croods is one of the most viewed children's programs on Netflix, so maybe there's a way DreamWorks could take the story elements they had planned for the Croods 2 and have Chris Sanders, Kirk D'Amico, Brendan Hay, and the rest of the crew work on a sequel series. I think the Croods are some of the most endearing characters in the DreamWorks Animation catalog, and there's so much more you could do with them. If you're a fan of the Croods, I do recommend giving Dawn of the Croods a watch sometime. See you next time.